And it's telling me we're live. We just wait and see what the lag is to YouTube.
I've got a picture.
You got what?
I've got sounds.
You have? I haven't here.
Oh well.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We're up and running. Good evening, everybody. Missy, Stitch, Little Stitch. Hiya, mate. Jenny. Obviously, the lovely Mrs. W behind us there. Hello, everybody. Wave.
It's all right. You have to hit return to get it to show the waving hand and
Good evening, Marines.
click send.
We're all doing well out there tonight. Oh, hello. What have I got coming in now? What's that? Oh, how nice of YouTube to tell me I'm live.
No, I've got one as well.
You did?
Did?
Fucking hell. Let's just answer this message.
It's a bit rude.
Oh, I'm always rude.
We've got James, Stitch, Missy, Marine, Sacked, Hunter.
Hunter's in. Good evening, Hunter. Sorry about that, being rude, answering a WhatsApp message from an old mate of mine. Sent me a picture of a very old, someone's going to take this the wrong way, aren't they? A very old hand tool, woodworking tool, and then he wondered what it was. I knew exactly because I've got two out in the shed. It's Roger without the D, Hunter. That's the old English spelling.
That's the surname.
No, it's usually a D if it's Rogers in the name. That is actually the old English spelling, like the old sweet shoppy. Oh, I will say good evening as well to Resist. He did let me know earlier on that he's having trouble with his laptop. But he will be listening in the background as usual. So you can all say hello to Resistor. That's all right, no problem, mate. A lot of people spell it like that, believe it or not. It doesn't bother me. Good evening, Stuart. In and out, sorting things out. Yeah, I've been trying to do that most of my life, mate. But I suppose we better get the silliness out of the way. Yeah, P&Q's question times today. What an absolute fucking farce. Oh, I forgot to say good evening to the faceless cowards, YouTube that are watching. We know they're there. Yeah, same old bollocks, 22 billion pound black hole that we know doesn't exist. Good evening, Gary. He went on that he was asked about what they're doing about the immigrants and the usual bollocks. We've deported, I think it was 19,000 that he said. Well, we know for a fact because we see the operations happening on TV, on social media. The only ones that are really getting deported, and there goes the camera again. That's twice tonight. All right, let's go to the backup cam. Not as good, but yeah, the only ones they're deporting at the moment are ones that they've caught basically overstaying visas, been over here to see family, working in the family takeaway, or, clothes, retail, whatever. They're the ones they're deporting, not the important ones like the one that was filmed the other day with the 2 AKs. Although I dare say he will be deported after being arrested. But yeah, the ones that, I mean, there's been record numbers again coming across, floating across the channel here and there. Simply because, as we know, the weather's been nice. And we know the weather's the only thing that stops them coming. But yeah, we keep hearing they're going to stop them, but it ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. What else has been going on in the house this week? Oh, yeah, he was asked about the 2-tier justice system. Why they need to put something in place, because we know it's already there. The same as the 2-tier policing. You know, you've only got to watch the videos. You know, you got these certain religions that can make as much fucking noise as they like, blaring over PA systems and speakers, kneeling down in the street, blocking traffic while they pray, taking over parks, even praying in normal Christian churches. Well, that's absolutely fine. But if you're a Christian preacher on the street, hell, you're going to get fucking arrested. You know, so the 2-tier policing is there. Always has been, as we know. So, but one or two are starting to speak out about it and saying that the Justice Secretary, who isn't white, shall I say, is pushing for it. I think it was the Tories put an act in place that would call a halt to it. That's going to be discussed and debated in the House on Friday, I believe. I don't watch a lot of it in there now, literally because it's just a fucking pantomime. Every single one of them is reading off scripts, from the questions to the answers. And the fact that the parliamentary clown, sorry, Mr. Speaker, I should say, about the money he's been claiming. Now, apparently, allegedly, he's claimed over 250,000 in expenses for luxury accommodation, luxury travel, even including a private jet. And he claims it's on fact-finding missions. Well, he doesn't need to go to any fact-finding missions. All he has to do is sit there and shout fucking order, order when somebody's wrong. Why does he need to claim those amounts of expenses? Good evening, Karen.
Because he can.
No, she isn't, Missy. She is not fit for purpose. Certainly not fit for the job she's fucking in. That's for sure. But the biggest one that's going on at the moment, inside and outside the house mainly, is the argument on the cuts to the DWP payments, in particular PIP. Now, if they persist with it, there's every chance that Labour could get defunded. As we know, the unions pay the bills, and the unions are totally against this. And it is discriminatory. You know, I mean, as I said in the video today, Rachel from Accounts, that silly bitch, is doing away effectively with what she's been doing with thousands and thousands of jobs. So there's thousands and thousands of people, able-bodied people, that were employed that will now be claiming benefits. But she chooses to stop benefits or cut benefits back on disabled people, sick people like myself. Even the doctors have said, the consultants have said, it would be dangerous for me to work. So what would they do? Would they ignore the doctors? Good evening, Russell. You never
Doctors haven't got a clue about people's health.
No, the GPs then.
No.
I'll get on to that in a minute because I've got a bit of an update on my health. No, he can't answer questions, Russell. He doesn't know how to. Good evening, Tony. He doesn't know how to speak to the public. All he can do is read off a script. He's an absolute moron. He really is. If he had 2 brain cells, he'd be fucking dangerous, more so than he is now. But yeah, those cuts, they're just ridiculous. That is persecuting disabled and sick people. Yeah, we all know there's some scroungers out there that just claim to be sick and just sit back and live on benefits. Well, I've got more paperwork to send into DPW sitting here now. I've just got to write the letter for it, saying about what treatment I'm going to be receiving in the future. Luckily enough, the main consultant I see, she's quite happy to write letters for me like that. And she doesn't charge like the GPs do. If you want a letter like that, you've got to pay your GP another 25 fucking quid on top of all the kickbacks he gets for the prescriptions he gives you. Yeah, he made a right tool as well, didn't he, Hunter? But yeah, that fucking camera is pissing me off. It looks like we're gonna have to use the other one for the night. Last week it worked perfect all fucking evening. I don't know why it isn't doing it tonight. But we'll leave it off for a while, see what happens then.
You were going to order a new one?
Yeah, I keep meaning to. But yeah, they got a lot of rebels on the back bench as well now. There's about 85 of them. This is over the 2-tier and the DWP cuts. But will they be able to persuade them? The thing is, they probably won't vote on the bills. They just sit back and object, but they won't vote to push through what they're actually saying. So they're as big a fucking coward as he is, as far as I'm concerned. And if we think we're going to actually get any help from reform at the moment, I mean, they're too busy fighting with each other, aren't they? Way too busy fighting with each other. I mean, what's his name? Lowe, is it? Is it Lowe? Ooh. Can't remember now. Well, yeah. Anyway, he's was thinking about starting his own party. I resist. Yeah, I know you're there, mate. There's a few other lurkers in the background that we know are there, but they're nice ones. They're good ones. There's probably 1 or 2 others as well, but hey, I don't bother with them. But yeah, there's been reports of allegedly, I should say, that Elon Musk is willing to fund the new party. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I really don't know. But if they're going to keep on arguing with each other like they do, I mean, they're going to end up no better than the idiots that are in now and the ones that went before them. And then we'd really be fucking screwed, because reform are basically our best hope of getting these idiots turfed out. You know, even if we've got to put up with all this shit until the next election, which is still 4 years down the line, isn't it? But again, bless you. But again, we see today a Labour councillor by the name of Sam Gould. He's pleaded guilty to performing a sex act in a car in front of a 13-year-old girl, and also exposing himself to a 25-year-old. He's actually pleaded guilty. So whatever aspects he had of actually becoming an MP, that's gone out the fucking window now, isn't it? At the moment, he hasn't resigned. I mean, Silver Fox did a video on this earlier on today.
Evening, Lou.
Good evening, Moo. Basically, he'll be forced to resign, I think. Or he should do anyway. I mean, but it just shows how many perverts there are. You know, I mean, they're known as the party that protects the perverts and the grooming gangs. There's still up whether they're going to have an inquiry. At the moment, they're resisting it all. Even that evil little bastard in London can't. But there is a good man that's going to run for him, against him, in the next mayoral elections with Ant Middleton. A lot of people don't like him, but he's an Englishman. He's a served Englishman. He's done his period in the army. He has got some good ideas. And from what I see at the moment and what's London's become, I'd rather drag an Englishman off the fucking unemployment list that's fucking homeless and stick them in the job. And I think they'd still do a better fucking job than Khan. But, you know, this is just my opinion. By the way, YouTube, any comments in there? Entirely, the opinions are owned by the people that make them, not by me. They've been playing silly fuckers in my channel again. I mean, I had some replies I made to comments yesterday. One was just a thumbs up emoji and with respect written next to it. For some reason, they took exception to that and removed it. And there was a couple like that. But that's YouTube, isn't it? They think they're a law. Well, they are a law unto themselves. You know, with the core value of freedom of expression. I mean, they might as well change that now, because they just don't live up to it whatsoever. What's going on with the Muslim Goblin of London? Well, he's still going on about the emissions, Jen. Now, it's been proved that the air quality in London hasn't improved any. Even with his so-called thing with the ULEZ. I mean, a couple of years ago, can you imagine London with what do they call it? The language the Muslims speak, Islam, I don't know. But fucking signposts, name boards on railway stations in that. Why? You know, if anything, it should be the same as what the Welsh have. English and the Welsh language, same as in Scotland. They're English fucking countries. Fine. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, they are. The Blade Runners are still at work, and they're still losing thousands of pounds every month having to replace cameras where they do. And where they do send workmen out, they're sending thug securities with them as well. Good evening, Scott. Yeah, contaminate. Well, it's not just a contaminated air in there. Yeah, I wish, Karen. All these heat pumps that they're trying to force everybody to have, they've had them in Parliament for a little while now on the last refit. And guess what? They're getting rid of them because they're not efficient enough to keep the place warm and they cost too much to run. But woo, you and me are supposed to have them. Yeah, total fucking hypocrisy from the twats. It really is. But yeah, as Jem pointed out there, it's actually my birthday tomorrow. Grand old age of 64. Oh, hell. Gets closer to that absolute fuck up that they call retirement. Just like electric cars. Yeah, there's a lot of companies now, Scar. Volvo are the latest ones, I think, to backtrack on them. Literally, they probably would have worked a bit more if people weren't pressured into it and the actual dealers weren't pressured into it. What's yours tomorrow as well, is it, Jen? Happy birthday to you, sweetheart, for tomorrow. Cheers, Stitch. By saying they've got to sell so many before they can sell petrol or diesel cars. Well, hasn't forced anybody, has it? Because, as I say, a lot of manufacturers are turning off to them. Vauxhall have actually closing a plant that was dedicated to making electric vans, their little vans. You couldn't make this shit up. And everywhere now, the second-hand car market's picking up. Even with the new road tax that's coming in next month, a lot of rises, but there's been a lot of scaremongering going on around that. Now, if you own, we'll take ours for instance. What's that? 2011, isn't it? We've got a 2011 Ford Focus Estate with the 1600 engine in. Nothing wrong with it. Damn good runner. In fact, it sailed through its MOT again yesterday. No advices. Literally, that's going up by, I think it's about 10 quid a year. Which, when you think back over the years, that would be in line with the normal rise for road tax. So all this scaremongering from mainstream media, oh, your tax is going to be fucking doubled on your car. It's going to cost you a fortune to tax it. It's not if you own an average car. If you own a big gas guzzler 4x4, these SUVs and shit like that, yes, they are going to be going up by quite a bit. It depends on the value of the car and the forecourt value. But it's nice to see that they're actually going to tax EVs, because that's going to be just another nail in the coffin. People didn't realise the cost of what it would be to service them, replace the batteries. Yeah, you could drive around in them for no road tax, but now they're going to have to fucking pay. And this is why people are changing their tune. Good evening, DJ. I believe rightly so. There's more polluting things out there than the vehicles on the road. If you look at all the indirect taxes. Yeah, exactly, mate. That's like I said today. Look at what they're doing to the pensioners. I mean, they've tried to freeze them to death. And now with cuts in the pension, they're going to be taxing pensions if people have saved a little bit more to live a more comfortable life. They're looking at taking the bus passes away. So basically now they haven't been able to freeze them to death. So they're going to lock them up in their homes and starve them to death. Because most pensioners have the heating on, even on slightly warmer days. As you get old, you feel the cold more. I feel it. So yeah, effectively, they'll starve them up. They just want them gone. They're a burden on society. But the thing is, what they're forgetting is they're the people that have built this country. It's their money that paid to build this country. Now they want to fuck them off. I won't go as far to say it's fucking genocide on the old. You could say that about the English white people with the way they're getting treated, But you'll be 56, will you, Jen? Oh, you've only got 8 years to go to catch up with me, then. I'll stop having them for 8 years. How's that? Give you a chance to catch up a little bit.
Well, you got football for your birthday anyway.
Yeah, well, I never asked for anything, do I?
You're not getting anything?
I always say, everybody around me, Heather, her family, they always ask what I want, but they give me so much through the year that I never ask for anything. It would be embarrassing to say, oh, I could do it. I want this, I want that. And I don't do it. Yeah, they always do get me a little something, but I'm one of these that's always, yeah, Chad. No, I'm the same at Christmas. Or if you want to get me something, get me a pair of socks
or a t-shirt.
Get me a t-shirt. Yeah, it's
the gold chain.
And once you get to a certain age, birthdays don't really mean a lot, other than the fact that you're just a year older. That's it. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, health update. That's what I was going to come out with. Well, I'm now doing some research on the benefits cuts. Apparently affects PIP not going up with inflation. Yeah, that's what I've heard, DJ, but that might get overturned yet. It might get overturned. He's closer to retirement age, and Karen. I've got 6 months ahead of me of venous sections, along with all the blood tests. I think I said last week I'd been upgraded on the COPD to level 4. A few blood tests I had a while back came out with there's a problem with my liver. My kidneys, sorry. But the last one said they're fine. But there's a problem now with my liver, which I've got to go and have an ultrasound for, apparently, some scans, whatever. So God knows how long I'm going to have to wait for that. I've been waiting 6 months for the physio appointment for my arthritis. So I don't hold much hope. But I did actually have an appointment with the doctor on Monday. I've been having pains in my hip and, dare I say, groin area without people getting dirty. Getting very, very painful when I walk and when I'm standing. Even walking out to the kitchen, standing doing the washing up, I end up in pain. If I walk anywhere, I have to use a stick if I go out the house. And it's the same symptoms that I was getting, exactly the same, before I had my aortic femoral bypass. Now, to me, if I'm getting the same symptoms in the same area, the same thing, to my mind, that means the bypass has failed. It was, 10 years ago? No, 10 years ago. when I had that. I wish I had enough weight in it to balance me out, Scar. But I brought this up with the doctor on the phone, and she wanted me to go in and have a look. And she's not a very good-looking doctor, so, you know, her ferreting around in my groin area doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, she has now agreed, there is a pulse in my feet. There is a damn good pulse to my groin. But from there down, there's not much of one. So she's thinking along the same lines as me. So again, that's something now that I've got to wait for a phone call for an appointment to go in and have an ultrasound. And I dare say there will be scans above the ultrasound once they look into it. The bad news on that, I was told when I had the bypass by a very, very arrogant vascular surgeon, that if it fails again, that is the end game for it. I could end up actually losing the leg eventually. Now, I did get a few problems with it a few years back, and I asked for a referral to get it looked into, and the arrogant bastard just turned around and said, "Oh, no, I done a good job. There's nothing wrong with it. You're fucking lying." And that was the end of it. That's the sort of person that he is. As far as I know, he was made up to head vascular surgeon at one of the other hospitals. I'm just hoping to God that he's fucking retired and I don't have to see the idiot again.
Or at least move from here.
Yeah. Because if he comes the bolshy bit again, I'm likely to smack him in the mouth. You know, oh, there's nothing you can do about it. Right, okay, fucking cop some of this, you arrogant cunt. And I don't use that word very often. But that's where we are at the moment. I've got more tests coming up on my blood pressure. They doubled my medications on that, the Ramipril. I'm now on 10 mil a day rather than 5. And I'll be honest, looking at the sheets that I do, the testing, I have seen a slight drop in my blood pressure. But that's going to be another couple of weeks before that gets reviewed again. I think it's around the 27th. But that's it, people. That's me in a nutshell at the moment. The fatigue's getting a bit worse. My breathing is getting a bit worse, and this doesn't help, I know. But it's either that or go back to smoking, isn't it? And I don't want to do that again. But good evening, Graham. Welcome in, mate. Flying visit. And have we got a sign from the stars for our birthdays tomorrow, Jen? Yeah. Full eclipse, blood moon.
If you want to wait up till past 2.
If you want to wait up until 2 in the morning to see it, which I very much doubt I'll be doing it. And,
you might still be awake at that time.
Yeah, there's going to be that amount of cloud cover out there, you wouldn't see it anyway. But yeah, whether that's a bit of coincidence, I suppose. I'd have thought something to do with the water would have been more apt, being a Pisces. Yeah, spooky. Just taking a break from Grand Tour. Yeah, fair enough, mate.
Relaxing the thumbs for a bit.
Yeah, stop the cramp. But yeah, we're still seeing, another cover-up. Now, there's 1 or 2 going on as well, Jen. There's a partial eclipse. I think it's later in the month, or that might even be Friday as well. Now, we all saw the fracas of the matey that climbed Elizabeth Tower, or Big Ben, as people call it, although that's just the name of the bell. And in particular, the biggest issue is how the fuck did he get through security? But did anybody hear about the other one, the other protest? There's apparently somebody climbed up on the London Bridge, Tower Bridge, and was sat up there. So there was a big hoo-ha about that. Nothing from mainstream media about it. Mission 34 is a clusterfuck. Yeah, everybody calls it Big Ben, Karen. That's actually just the name of the bell. Not even the clock. It's Big Ben is literally just the bell. But as I said, everybody calls it. You know, you look at the tower, it's Big Ben, although you can't see it from the outside.
Well, that's because when they're describing the building, they tend to say the Houses of Parliament and Big
Ben. Big Ben, yeah.
So that people think that's the tower.
Very, very rarely do they call it the Elizabeth Tower. I will say that.
I'll be honest, I'd never heard the term before the idiot climbed up.
Oh, I've heard it a few times.
Yeah, well, you're Oxford's closer to London than Birmingham.
I thought they had snipers to deal with that. It would be nice to think so, wouldn't it, Scar? But the tower does actually come under the Houses of Parliament in the security cordon. So, you know, there was a big slip up there somewhere, wasn't there? The fact that he managed to get through. And, of course, they couldn't just yank him down. They had the telly lifter there, the cherry picker. But they'd realised by then that he was live streaming on YouTube. So they took the opportunity to listen to what he was saying and publicise what he was saying. What they'd get out of that, I don't know. But, hey, he was protesting about Palestine, wasn't he? You know? Says it all, really. You know, there's still two-tier policing going round on that. But there you go. Don't talk about Reeves and others like that. No, they're bell ends, Graham.
Isn't that a clapper?
I wish you'd get the fucking clap. You might shut her up. But no, that's silly bint. She just hasn't got a clue. Yeah, exactly, Scar. It's ridiculous, mate. If you stop moving in London, you're suspicious. But only if you're white. You know? Yeah, Graham. You know, it's... This country has changed so much in my lifetime. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing and hearing. Certainly with the government that's in charge now. You know, we put up with the Tories for 14 years. They got voted back in several times. I voted for the first time ever for Boris. I never bothered with politics before. I'll be honest, I still don't know that much about it. But Boris promised us Brexit. So I voted for Boris. I wanted Brexit. I wanted us to take back control of our fucking country. But we haven't really left, have we? You know, when they started agreeing to keep upholding some of the European laws, keep the ECHR, we hadn't left. And now this Plank Starmer is trying to take us back in through the back door with this European army bollocks. Well, I can tell you now, Starmer, the boys in this country won't fucking fight for you. Not on a foreign land. You stick them on the borders, you stick them along the east coast, stick them along the cliffs of Dover, they'll fucking fight for this country then, believe me. But that's the only fighting they'll do, and it won't be for you. It'll be for everybody else in this country. Yeah, there is no white privilege, Jem. That's something that...
That's what happens when you're an MP.
I won't say... You can't blame the white privilege shit on the Muslims especially. I mean, that was brought up by the coloured folks over slavery and shit like that. That's always been out there. Oh, you know, you're white, so you're privileged. And to show how stupid they are about it, a few years ago, I don't know if anybody else saw it. I was watching a political show. It was like a call-in thing. It was in America. And this stupid coloured woman rang in, shouting at the presenter, "Oh, you're fucking white privilege and all this. You've destroyed that. You've destroyed the other." And he let her rant on for about 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden she went quiet, and he just quietly said to the mic, he said, "You do realise I'm black, don't you?" And she just like, boom. She was telling a black man that he had white privilege. How fucking dumb can you get, you know?
Karen.
Who are you shouting? What?
I didn't mean Karen.
Oh,
I meant she was a Karen.
She was a Karen, absolutely. Yeah, whipping boy. Well, kings and queens and parliamentarians had that years ago, didn't they? They always had a whipping boy to take their punishments. I've never seen any white privilege other than the millionaires and their privilege over no matter what colour, you know. So, you know, David Lammy, he's got a hell of a privilege, but they won't say it's a white privilege, will they? Oh, no. Because only white people can be racist. And now, you know, there's things that I'd like to say, but I can't. Well, I do, because it will upset people. You know, you've got all these Palestinians, or so-called Palestinians. I don't think half of them are, or even a decent percentage of them are. A lot of them seem to be normal English people, parading up and down the streets, waving the Palestinian flag. We support Palestine. No, you support fucking Hamas. And if you want to do anything and support Palestine, put your fucking flags down, get on a fucking plane, fuck off over there and support them. Simple. Same as these waving the Ukrainian flag. Oh, we must support Ukraine. Well, put a fucking uniform on, sling a fucking rifle over your shoulder and fuck off over there and support them. Go and fight for them. They won't. Because most of them are fucking cowards.
That's not what they mean, and you know it. No,
it is exactly what they mean. We've got to support the Ukraine. We've got to send them billions and billions of pounds.
Yes.
If you want to support Palestine, Ukraine, take your money out of your fucking bank, go over there, put it into Zelensky's pocket and fucking fight.
They mean we as a country, not them as a person.
It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, sweetheart. You know, I never paid taxes over the year to support a fucking war that we weren't involved in. You know? People might say that's out of order. But no, because I don't give a fuck what goes on over there. It's not my war. he keeps saying, oh, we need the money and the arms to defend the country. Flying 300 plus drones into the middle of fucking Moscow isn't defending the country. That's attacking another country, isn't it? And Putin's just as bad. But I don't support it. I don't. That's why I don't talk a lot about it in the videos, because I really don't give a shit about what's happening in other countries. We've got enough to deal with in this country. Well, the Irish are doing a good job from what I've seen, and they are starting to rise, aren't they, Karen? And rightly so. For what they're doing. I mean, I saw a report today where the Gardaí are actually walking into mosques to recruit people. If you look back at the history of the potato famine, Flanco, it's a lot different to the actual truth that's written in books. Katie Hopkins. Yeah, they had this meeting, was it Dubai or somewhere, where Zelensky has actually said that he would support a ceasefire, with exchange of prisoners and shit like that. But it's got to be put to Putin now, whether he'll agree to it. I mean, to be honest, the pair of them are fighting a pointless war, because all they're doing is losing thousands and thousands of their own countrymen. Both sides have got mercenaries fighting for them, people from other country. They're getting killed and imprisoned. It's in their both own interests. It's just if they can find common ground. Putin always said he wanted his bit of land back. Ukraine have said, go fuck yourself. Personally, they should, as far as this would be my idea, is put the border back where it was and ask the people of that region who they'd rather be ruled by. And the two leaders would have to abide by that decision, whether it be a vote, a referendum, whatever. The two leaders would have to abide by that decision. If the people said they want to live under the Russian rule, then, give it to Russia. If they say they prefer to stay under Ukraine, then it stays Ukraine. But this is the problem, that they don't talk. Zelensky is only literally talking now because he knows he's not going to get anything more from America, or not at the moment. And there are several European countries that have said they will not fight for the Ukraine. They will not put their people on the ground. Italy is one. I believe Denmark was another one. Was it Denmark or Austria? So all this shit that the whole of the EU and the whole of the UK is behind them. No, they're not. It's only the countries where the leader is behind them. Starmer ID top box. Yeah, tanks, not talk. Well, the thing is that the main tank that the Ukrainians had and was being supplied with was the Abrams, supplied by America. And of course, now that flow stopped, including the ammunition for the guns on it. Most of the handguns and machine guns and shit like that, yes, they can, through the EU, still get ammunition for those, because most of them are NATO issue and they all use the same size round, as it were. But again, a lot of them seem to have AK-47s, the old Kalashnikov. Well, Ukraine used to build them. They used to build them for the Russians, funny enough, and they used to make the ammunition for them. So somewhere, I dare say, they've got a factory producing the rounds for those still. Something weird going on in the chat, some comments in. Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised, Graham. You know what the faceless cowards are like.
Is he on live chat? Or is he on top chat?
Yeah, are you on live chat or top chat?
Because we know it defaults to top chat.
You can see more comments on my phone than on the live stream chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, you might be on top chat then, Graham. I mean, I can't, well, I could, because I should be able to see them on StreamYard. You're getting the same problem, are you, Gary? Yeah, check that you're on live chat, not top chat, for a start. Is anybody out there that's, even you lurkers, that are seeing this? Has anybody put anything in the chat that's disappeared?
How did you get on StreamYard?
Yeah, are you watching through StreamYard or the YouTube, Graham?
We can't.
Well, you can't watch StreamYard because I haven't put the link out. So
that's what I mean.
You've typed in, have you, Gary, and it's disappeared. Why doesn't that surprise me?
Well, that's YouTube hiding the thing, but
yeah. I mean, it's the same as me videos when I post them. Now, I've been watching, I don't always watch the analytics. Yeah, a lot of mine don't move. And the subscriber count is creeping up there now. It's over 2,700. Yet the viewings have gone down. Now, I've had one or two emails stating that people have made comments that I don't reply to. Well, if I can't see them, YouTube on smart 2, ditto on phone, and discrepancy. Yeah, there is some, Gary. Graham, sorry. That's why I always, everything I do on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Streamer, it's all done on the same PC, on the one PC. The only thing that I haven't got on it, which is on my phone, is WhatsApp. But nothing you do now is safe. Nothing is private. Even private messages, none of it is private anymore. On a lot of the new phones now, they can actually get into them. There's been some updates going out. If you click on them, they can get in. They can look at your personal photos. They can look at your personal contacts. And that's the reason my personal phone doesn't get connected to the internet, the Wi-Fi. Never has done. I think I've connected it twice, and that was in the Vodafone shop to put updates on when I took a contract out or whatever.
I sat here with it connected for about 3 hours trying to sort your updates out.
Oh yeah, there's another list on there now, but I've gone back to Vodafone now from that cheap shit that we was on. I wasn't getting a signal. The battery was running down quick. It was constantly searching for a signal. I wasn't receiving calls. And as I get regular calls from the consultants and the doctors, or even the nurse, I need to be in constant contact. and they just weren't supplying it. It just wasn't happening.
Thank Jen for that one.
So I fucked them off. That was a company called Now.
No. RGW.
Or, yeah, as I call them now. No.
RGW.
What?
RGW.
RGW.
They used the Now network.
It's a small company, and even the nice young lady at Vodafone, when I went in the other day to switch over, said, yeah, we've had a few people come in that have gone over to that because it is dirt cheap. You know, if you're not worried about missing calls and shit for £3.50 a month, you're laughing all the way to the bank, literally.
I haven't missed a call.
But what do you mean? I couldn't call you the other day. You tried to ring me, you couldn't call me.
That was because there was an outage.
But there's
once.
Yeah, but I've had it.
The network went
the
down.
last few. Will you shut up about that? Because I told you the last few weeks, the doctors and the nurses and the surgery have told me they've been trying to ring me and they haven't been able to get through. Yet my phone's been on all day, so it's down to them. You know.
My comment was, I haven't had a problem. That's all I said.
Yeah, well, you've been lucky then, haven't you? YouTube on Smart Ditto. Yeah, it's their core value, Graham, is freedom of expression. And, you know, every time they do something like that, they break that core value. And the thing is, you can't do anything about it because they just won't fucking listen. They're like Facebook. If you've got an issue, you very rarely can talk to a human being. Facebook, I got put in Facebook jail earlier in the week for a few days. They blocked me from even sending personal messages, DMs. It just said, you said something that you shouldn't have done. You know, you said, it actually said you said something in the text that you shouldn't have done. So I constantly ask them, well, what did I say? They don't tell you. So literally they leave you there saying, okay, you did something wrong. We're not going to tell you, so you can do it again so we can penalise you again. You know, if they tell you it's wrong, they tell you which bit of it's wrong. Any normal person would say, okay, I won't do that again. But because the idiots won't tell you. Yeah, exactly, Graham. And as I say, the comments that they removed of mine, one was literally a thumbs up emoji, and the other one was a thumbs up emoji and the words respect bud, as I put on the end of most of my comments. Unless it's female, then they get the kiss on the cheek emoji. There was nothing wrong with those comments whatsoever. Yeah, they got no customer service, Scar. But the thing is, if you piss YouTube off enough, and I know this for a fact because it was in their new terms and conditions last year, I think it was, because it's owned by Google, they can actually reduce your access to Google or throw you off the platform, the search engine altogether. You know? And they'd be spiteful enough to fucking do that as well. And the thing is, the only way you could circumvent it is take them to court. And who's got hundreds of thousands of pounds to fight a court battle against corporations that big? They'd wipe you out. You know? This is why I'd love to win the lottery, because there is a lot of big people that I'd love to take to court. If I won over 100 million, I would set a couple of million aside just for that fucking purpose. Yeah, Mickey's had problems for ages, Graham. He always has had. I don't know why they persecute him. We know he's got sight issues, and that's why we let him get away with the capitals, which is perfectly reasonable. If he's working on a phone, not a laptop or a computer, you can't make your text that big because it just takes up the whole screen. And I totally understand that, and that is why I've never penalised him for doing it. He's always been a loyal supporter. He's always been a loyal follower, same as he is with, same as a lot of us with Pat. Using capitals in names and places are absolutely fine. And we know the fact that Mickey isn't shouting, which most people use capitals for. You've got to make certain amount of allowances. He's been there a long, long time. Are you having a celebration tomorrow, Jem? Oh, Elon reckons it could have been the Ukraine that infiltrated X the other day when it went down. Is he just saying that? He's always said that they get loads and loads of attacks, cyber attacks, literally on a daily basis. But he said this one was a coordinated effort. It was a big effort. And he said it either came from a very, very large group or a country. But is he still, the Americans threatened to remove all intelligence data from the Ukraine. Did that include Starlink? Because don't forget, Elon gave Starlink to the Ukraine for free so they could use it for their military. Drones, etc. So they had a stable, reliable internet. Are you going out for the day on Friday? Yeah, I should be in as normal. I dare say that the kids might nip round. Heather's daughter especially. She usually... if they remember. No, she always looks after us here. I mean, at the moment, Heather's more like my carer because I just can't do a lot at all at the moment. So I'm quite lucky from the fact that she's actually working at home because she does have to do a lot of things that I can't do.
No.
But I draw the line at showering and bathroom. I haven't had anybody had to do that to me since I was a kid. So I prefer to wipe my own ass.
Before you ask, no.
I think they're taking... Oh, you're going to do something for your crafting. Fair enough. I mean, the way this setup's going here, I might cooking. She does do the cooking, Graham. At the moment, the only time I do anything like that is when she's upstairs in the office. I will go out there and stick a couple of slices of toast in the bread in the toaster.
I cook so that we can eat.
Yeah, I can cook. But literally, as I said earlier, standing on my feet for a couple of 3 minutes, instantly I've got back pain, I've got lower front pain, I've got aches and pains across my shoulders. And especially if I'm moving around the house a bit, Just going out to the kitchen and back, I'll have to use my little puffer because I'll be out of breath. And that's literally just the other side of this wall here. So it's to that door at the end of the room, same distance, and I'm knackered. I do attempt the washing up, and I do push myself and do it most days. I think it's only fair that I do try and do a bit. So I leave it, she makes the mess, I go out there and clean it up. But even that is a bit unfair because a lot of the mess is put on my plate as well. So not her cooking, that's not a mess.
I was going to say, I've never seen anybody make so much mess as you when you do 2 slices of toast.
What? A few breadcrumbs on the chopping board. One little plate and a knife.
You accused me of making a mess, making a cup of coffee. That was 1 teaspoon.
Oh, well, there you go. Used to be in the oil and steel industry, but avoid jail. Yes, Graham. Well, it's quite funny, Jen, because she finishes about 3:30. When she was in the office, she used to get home about 4. But now she's down about 3:30. Yeah, it's a bit heavy. Where was I? Yeah, and as soon as she comes down, we start discussing what we're going to have for tea in the evening because neither of us can make a decision. It got to the point last night where, okay, let's have a takeaway for a change, so nobody has to do anything other than the washing up. And I like mishi kebabs and stuff like that. So the first takeaway, she tried to ring, couldn't get any answer. And she did try quite a few times. And then I thought, well, it's Ramadan. Maybe they're fucking shut, you know? Maybe they won't handle the food and shit like that. So she gave up with that one and rung another one. But with what they sent out, personally, I'd have rather had a Chinese. It was absolute crap. And it took about 2 hours nearly to get here. And it's only 10 minutes down the fucking road. So they won't be getting any more custom. Coldy looking chain. Yeah, it's actually nylon. This was one of my Christmas t-shirts. You know, it's got the 6-pack on. I just haven't got the body to fill it out anymore. My stomach is about the only thing that isn't wasting away. I've lost most of my muscle mass on my arm now. Yeah, he isn't doing anything on YouTube at the moment. Obviously, he lost his father not so long back. Oh, I will, Jen. I will. I'm actually intending, I'm not doing a video tomorrow. I'm actually intending to just have a day of chilling and relaxing. Might watch a few videos. Probably do a bit of Facebook. But other than that, I don't intend to be doing a lot. Actually, it'd be a good time to have a look around for a new fucking camera. See what's out there. Let's have a look, see how long it's going to...
I told you to order one for your birthday.
Oh, I know.
Well, they know as well, because they've heard me keep saying it every week.
It's the better quality one, but it just... I don't know what it can't be the connection. There is something wrong somewhere because, as I say, sometimes it will last for 10 minutes. It didn't even last that earlier on. And then I've had it last all evening on it. Even when I used to go on till 10 o'clock when I could stay awake. So I don't quite know what it is. You know, it might be using it. It's fine when I'm doing videos. So it might be the connection between it and StreamYard. I don't know. But it only seems to fuck up on the live streams, which is very weird.
But when you're doing videos, it's only 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's usually less than 10 minutes, isn't it?
So it's not really a comparison.
Yeah. Now, Graham. Yeah, it's. I'll be honest, Moo. I mean, you guys see me on it. 2 hours on air is about the longest I can actually function at the moment without needing a kip and a rest. I mean, even doing the videos, I'll record them. As I say, it's less than 10 minutes. But, you know, I'll still have to have a break before I go back and edit them. And literally all I'm doing is sat here. If I go out and make some toast, as I say, I'm knackered by the time I get back in here. And everything just seems to be getting worse health-wise. You know, I've got quite a few things going on, and each of them seems to be getting worse in its own way. Whether it's one that's triggering off other things, I believe a lot of it is, a lot of the problems I think stemmed from the polycythemia or polysynthia. The nurses don't pronounce the M. A lot of the things that are happening other than the COPD, I could take it as symptoms from that have forced that to happen, including the blood clots. And this is why I have to go through the venous sections, simply because there goes that camera. Look, that didn't even last 10 minutes.
Oh.
Fuck the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, even going back to the blood clots originally, the blood clot on the brain I had back in 2010. And that's the reason she keeps doing the venous sections, is to stop clots forming. Because what it actually is you got your red and white blood cells, obviously, your plasma and your red cells. And the red cells are what they call fat cells. They're too fat. There's too many of them. So by doing the venous section and taking blood out of me by the pint, that thins it down, which helps the blood thinners do their job, which keeps me blood pumping round. And again, I had a venous section last week, so that could be bringing me blood pressure down if they're not, not being blocked up by the thick blood cells. But I'm on, as I said earlier, I'm on more double the amount of Ramipril, so you got a lifetime guarantee. Well, the sad thing is I've got more years behind me than I'm ever likely to have in front of me now, Moo.
Well, yeah, you're not going to live till you're 130, for crying out loud.
I would if it was to spite you. But, yeah, life expectancy has gone down over the years, and that, I mean, originally, when I was born with the hole in my heart, when I was a kid, the doctor said I wouldn't live over 21. Well, here I am over 40 years later. I'm still here. I shouldn't be.
Where should you be?
I should be dead with some of the things that I used to get up to. I nearly was a couple of times. I mean, you thought I'd fucking died when I crashed out with the stroke, didn't you? But,
I don't know as I thought you died.
well,
but
that's
I
what
know
you told
something
me. You
was-
thought you'd lost me.
What?
You told me you thought you'd lost me when I went down. When I was unconscious. I distinctly remember you telling me that.
You remember everything different from I do. So.
Well,
But then I have memory issues because I can never remember things the same as you do.
Just the one, Moo. Just the one, mate. But, you know, for most of us older ones under this government, life expectancy is going to get shorter, isn't it? I dare say, well, there's a lot that haven't reached a year older since what happened back during the pandemic, but it would only be a dark angel looking out for me, Jem.
That's what you put, Hell's Angel.
I did have a vicar tell me once that I think it was at a christening or something, said, "Don't forget, Jesus died for your sins." I said, "No, he didn't." He said, "Well, he did." I said, "No, he didn't." He said, "He didn't have enough fucking pain to die for my sins, mate." Yeah, I never use protective text, Graham. It screws with my head. I've turned it off on my phones. I've turned it off on the computer. I hate it. Hills Angels. Yeah, that'd be more like it, Moo. They can come and protect me. Especially that, oh, what was her name? Carol White, was it? The little one with the short blonde hair and the huge knockers. Mind you, you look at them now, they're older than me, aren't they? They're grandmothers.
So am I.
What? Yeah, exactly. Not as old as they are. Yeah, it depends on the phone, Graham. Sometimes it'll come on every time you want to type. You can cancel it and then it'll come back on automatically. But yeah, I checked it. Well, I wouldn't know if I'm actually an official granddad or not because I haven't been in touch with the kids for 40 years. My daughter did get in touch for a little while.
I know you've got no money, and
my son has never bothered. So, but I class Heather's grandchildren as my grandchildren, and they get treated as such. You know, if it came to putting my life in front of them to save them, I'd quite happily do it. But you know, you're talking about that with the Hills Angels and what have you. I mean, some of the older ones still look bloody good. I mean, Caroline Munro. She was famous for the biggie boobies, as it were, on display and squealing in a lot of the Hammer horror films and other films as well. She still looks the same. You know, yeah, a bit older. I mean, Pamela Anderson. You know, she's one of these that's turned over to the I'm going El Natural, no makeup. And at her age now, she actually looks better without the makeup than she bloody did with it. Who's another one that, yeah, she's lost it a bit, but there again, when you consider her age, Goldie Hawn. You know, the press seem to muller these older celebs. Oh, look at the state of them, you know. Oh, look at the state of them without makeup. Well, they're fucking pensioners. Of course they're going to look a bit older. Of course a lot of them are going to look haggard. You know, about the only one that's never changed is what's his name from the Rolling Stones. Well, and
Yeah, but he looked 90
Waylon
when he
Jennings,
was
not
20.
Waylon Jennings, the other one. Willie Nelson. Keith Richards, that's it.
But he looked 90 when he was 20.
Exactly. Oh, there was a picture of oh, fuck me. I just said the name and it's gone straight out of my head again. Willie Nelson on Facebook when he appeared on the Muppet Show years ago. And he didn't look out of place, to be honest. Yeah, all the old school comedians, Graham, Dick Emery, yeah. Oh, you are awful. Milligan would be. I never went a lot on Kenny Everett. I don't know why. He just came across as absolutely stupid to me. But
Sid Snot.
Sid Snot, you what? What was Dick Emery's other one? Oh yeah, done it wrong again, Dad. I mean, it was like the two Ronnies. Now, to me, Ronnie Barker was an absolute fucking magician. He was absolutely hilarious. But the little one, I never found him funny at all.
But like I said, you can't have a comedian without a straight man.
Yeah, but he wasn't even straight, was he? He was just a creepy little midget.
He's the butt of the jokes.
It's actually been rerun on TV not so long back, Scar. And Garnett, Alf Garnett, that's been rerun on there. But, you know, you get all the warnings up. Perrin, Leonard Rossiter, he could be funny. He could be funny. I didn't find him funny all the time. New update, love thy neighbour. I haven't seen anything about that, Moo. I mean, it's happening in real life, isn't it? You know. Phantom Raspberry. Now, the Phantom Raspberry Blower, that was part of one of the Goon sketches, I believe, along with the Phantom Head Shaver of Brighton and the International Christmas Pudding. I can remember that. The bloody Goon show on the radio, for crying out loud. I should listen to it on the radio.
The Phantom Raspberry Blower of Old London
Town. Yeah. Remember flowery twats.
And that was on the two Ronnies.
Yeah, the two Ronnies, Ronnie Corbett and Ronnie Barker. Yeah, the old fella was the one that used to make me laugh on that Scar. The old man. Harold. The Snape in Harry Potter. Yes, I did see that somewhere, Jen. But there again, so was Snow White going to be, wouldn't she?
Yeah, but Snape's dead. He was killed.
But he can magically come back. Don't forget, it's a magical program, isn't it? Tis was. Jesus, wasn't that a thing?
Kept my kids quiet.
Sally, what's her name? And Chris Tarrant. I never found Chris Tarrant funny at all. And then wasn't it the old fucking didn't Noel Edmonds do that in the end as well? Oh no, that was that Swap Shop?
No, he just he had his own program.
Yeah, Noel Edmonds' House Party. Thank you, Graham. Yeah, but I mean that, you know, to me when that was on at my age, you know, yeah, I was a younger lad, much younger, but to me that was for like toddlers, a couple of years old, basically, a bit like the Teletubbies, you know.
Yeah,
Never went a lot on Lenny Henry, Jen.
it was okay before he went woke.
Yeah, when he was in the Comedians, what was it? Something Will He Be Wildebeest or something? Swap Shop was Noel Edmonds. Thank you, Stuart. Yeah. I mean, what was the other one? Crackerjack. Yeah. Well done, Moo. We come out with that at the same time. 5 to 5, and it's Crackerjack. Come and win your pencil and pencil case, wasn't it?
It's Friday. It's 5 to 5.
Yeah, I do seem to remember him being in Tiswas at some point, Jen. You know, it was the only thing on telly on a Saturday morning back then while you were waiting for Grandstand to come on, or World of Sport, wasn't it? See, that's another thing you don't see now. Now, when we used to watch Grandstand and Motorsport, they'd have things like banger racing on, they'd have motocross. You don't see those sports now. Yeah, you can watch them on the internet, but I haven't seen a motocross meeting or even one race on TV since World of Sport and Grandstand finished. And that was the only time I saw banger racing as well. Except for when it was on that kiddies program. Why don't you switch off your television and go do something more interesting instead? It was on there one
Why don't you? According to Wiki, Noel Edmonds wasn't on Tiswas.
He wasn't?
No. It was Chris Tarrant, Sally James, Lenny Henry, Bob Carroll G's, John Gorman, Gordon Astley, Jen Hegarty, John Asher, Peter Tomlinson, Trevor East.
Thank you.
And Spit the dog.
Yeah.
If Bob was there, Spit was there.
Spit was there, obviously. Yeah, I never used to watch the wrestling, Stuart. It was just a pantomime, wasn't it? They were just celebrities throwing each other around the ring, all choreographed. Well, a bit like the wrestling, the American wrestling, isn't it? And the Mexicans are worse. Well, I quite often, Jen, used to go to the Saturday morning kids club down the cinema in the local town when I was old enough to be allowed out on my own. Used to get given a tanner. That was my bus fare in, my bus fare back, and the entrance into the cinema and a lolly. But, you know, that used to turn round to the bus fare in, going buying a French sticks, bag of chips, stuffing it with chips, and then walking home. I always remember used to get a right bollocking sat there during the kiddies cartoons and everything, throwing the chips up into the beam from the projector so they look like fucking rockets.
You were so well behaved, weren't you?
Oh, I was.
So glad you haven't changed.
Yeah, see, the WWF, that's exactly the same stitch. It's all show. It's just an entertainment program. The only one where you get the real fighting is the cage fight in the MMA. And I don't even bother watching that. It doesn't interest me. Did you people? I had to watch it later on Betamax. Yeah, but when we were allowed out, Moo, we did a lot more than our parents realised. Or I did, anyway. Yeah, the Betamax didn't last long, did they? It went over to the VHS. Yeah, I would never have gone and watched it live, Jem.
Yeah, the times he's talking about, Moo, they hadn't invented Betamax, let alone anything else.
Yeah, we used to still watch Cine 8.
Video? What does that mean?
Yeah, used to watch a lot of things on the old Cine 8, but trouble was we had a cheap one. It never had sound. All you had was pictures.
They were all like that.
You could get a posh one, the later one with sound. Was that? Well, it wasn't Cine 8 though, was it? It was another thing where they actually put sound on the tapes.
Yes.
Because Uncle Bob had one.
Eventually, but that was the professionals. It wasn't.
Yeah, well, they all swapped over, didn't they, Graham?
They were grown up by the time they had sound on it.
Yeah, it was just, that was the entertainment back then, Nikki, good evening, sweetheart. It's a knockout. Yeah, I did actually watch one, if I remember rightly. It was the one they had, I think it was the Royals on. Everybody had to watch it because the Royals were on there. I don't watch anything to fucking do with them now, but not my king. Well, I don't class him as a king with what he's let happen to this country. Yes, Moo, actually, he was.
He was?
He was. My Uncle Bob was my dad's twin brother.
And a lovely guy.
Real nice guy. Unfortunately, he died. Was it the end of last year, wasn't it? Through cancer, same as my dad. Oh, dear. Holy hell.
Was it this?
There was another one, wasn't there, as well? Mike Reed did Run Around. Oh, the Golden Shot. Yeah, Mother always had to watch the Golden Shot with Bob Monkhouse. I always told her I could do better with a real crossbow than that bloody thing they had on there. That's right, Graham. Yeah, that's the problem with censorship. You have to watch what you say. But I did enjoy. I watched a video of an interview that somebody did with that silly bitch from the BBC, I think it is, Victoria Derbyshire, where she was going on, oh yeah, of course we got free speech in this country. Look at what they do to the ones in Russia over free speech. And the woman put her down just like that. The official, I can't say they're the official figures, but allegedly there's like 100, 400, and I think it was 98 people in Russian prisons for going over the top on free speech. And the woman then pointed out, well, don't forget, we've got more than that in jail here, or have been arrested and prosecuted for freedom of speech. And the woman didn't know where to put her face. You could see it. She hadn't done her research. She hadn't got any figures in front of her. That's right, Nikki. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But the thing is, if you do, I believe this is where Mickey Mouse had his problems. He used to go on a lot of live streams. And of course, he used to get comments removed for stuff he'd said, having an opinion. And YouTube, even though you haven't got a channel, you go on and they start removing you. They'll chase you all the way down. Every time you're on a live stream, they'll flag you and they'll come in and watch what you're putting in. Yeah, game shows never interested me, Nicky, to be honest. Jasper Carrot as a comedian, yes.
But Golden Balls was quite new. That was quite modern.
Yeah, but like I said, game shows, they just don't really interest
It
me.
didn't work, love. It was on at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or something stupid like that.
Well, there you go. But, you know, when the comedians did a set, great. Yes, a lot of it was scripted, unless you were Dave Allen, and that was
Scripted.
It was scripted, but the way he put it out there, Milligan, you never knew what he was going to do. You never knew what he was going to come out with. But I find once they turn on to these game shows and they try to inject the humour, it's just not there. Just not there. Yeah, I've had my share, Graham. I've had my share. It's like I say, I'm absolutely convinced. Well, I know this channel is shadow banned. You know, the numbers themselves prove that, and the emails and messages I get on WhatsApp. You know, oh, my comments have never come up on your videos, and what did you think of my comment the other day? Well, I can't comment back if I don't see it, you know. But to actually, I probably won't tonight, Graham. It's getting on a bit now. There's only, about 20 minutes before I'll sign off anyway. And the trouble is, as I said before, when I open the panel, I tend to lose touch with you guys in the chat. And it's a bit unfair, the fact that I open up a stream and then ignore people in the chat, you know. You off, Jen? Have a great day tomorrow, sweetheart, or Friday. As you said, it's Friday you're going out.
Have a lovely birthday, sweet.
Enjoy it, because, as I say, lifespan in this country is getting lower and lower. I mean, you'll be absolutely lucky if there is a pension by the time you get to the age. Be lucky if there's one by the time I get to that age.
They keep moving the age.
Well, that's what I mean. You'll never be able to claim it.
I've had to work for an extra 7 years. So.
It'll be work till you drop, and then they'll tax you after you die.
That's if they don't move it again.
But yeah, I'm just intending to have a relaxing day. You know, I probably won't even look at what's going on around the Parliament and shit. You know, I'll probably see what comes up on Facebook and YouTube. But I do look quite a lot on Twitter now, but you do have to take what you see on there with not a pinch of salt, a whole fucking dish of it. Because there are some fucking idiots on there. There really is. But there again, look at YouTube with all these digital AI channels. You know, you look at the thumbnail, oh, Rayna's been sentenced to prison. No, she fucking ain't. You know, every single thumbnail is clickbait. And most of them can't even put clips up of what they're talking about. It's just a picture and an AI voice. And that's why I don't bother watching them. You know, if you can't put your face on there, then, you know, how can you have a live stream with an AI. It's beyond a joke. I mean, I see they're trying to shut Mayor Tusi down now. Well, I've never got on a lot on him anyway, and I don't watch him, so it'd be no great loss to me. But one of the others, I can't remember his name now, but he's not a big player like Tusi, but because of his views on YouTube, they froze his bank account now, his bank accounts. So he's got to try and sort all that out. Don't drink any formaldehyde. Yeah, preserve yourself forever. Yeah, maybe that's why they want the disabled working, Graham. You know, hoping it'll kill them off, like the pensioners. But, you know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, you know, especially at the start of COVID and one or two other things beforehand. People were saying, oh, you know, they're trying to cull the population. Well, if you look at what they're doing, are they conspiracy theories? Really? You know, they keep denying that they're doing all this weather modification with the chemtrails and that. Well, a lot of weather services have admitted that they are doing it. Now, if it's total bollocks and they're not doing it, why have several states in America made it illegal to do it? You don't make something illegal that you're not doing, do you? I mean, I don't talk a lot about that, but I sit here most days. If it's a clear blue sky in the morning, it's absolutely beautiful. You see a few lines start to appear. I'll go out. I have got a load of pictures of them on my camera, actually. You can tell. You'll see we've regularly got high altitude aircraft going across here. It's one of the main flight paths. Now you'll see them with a contrail that disappears, which I would take probably a quarter of a mile behind them at the height they are and the size they are here. And the blue skies remain. And then you'll get the ones that come along one after the other with a big white trail, one horizon to the other, and you see them spread. And then all of a sudden, they turn into the clouds, and there's clouds there. So, you know, you take what you will from that. There's people that believe it. There's people that don't. You know, a bit like the flat earth shit. If the earth's flat, why do they say you go on a trip around the world, not across it?
You go around the edge.
You watch the live feed from the space station. Doesn't abruptly end and then start again, does it?
Want anything while I'm getting a drink?
No, I bought a can in earlier on before I started. Well, I'm going to put that vape down. That's irritating my throat. But I do have cough medicine. That was 1 teaspoon. Yeah, well, they actually raised the retirement age on the premise that people were living longer, didn't they, Moon? Doesn't seem that way anymore. Far from it. Although, again, if you look at the American news and what Elon Musk has been doing, apparently there's still sort of 168-year-olds and that over there claiming benefits. And apparently over there, dead people can vote as well. But they're actually still finding tips and containers full of voting slips from the election over there before this one that they just had. They're still finding papers that have been dumped, voting slips or whatever they have over there. I don't quite know how their system works. But, you know, this is what people are saying here, that Starmer's inviting, because he is basically inviting them by what he gives them, the channel paddlers over. Or we'll get their vote if we bow to them. But as I said before, he's a white man. He's an infidel. It doesn't matter whether he supports them or not. When they've got what they want, they'll fuck him off the same as they will the rest of us. And the sooner he realises that, the better. I mean, the fact that the leader of this country now is too frightened to come out in fucking public. He won't face the public. Any little things he does do outside the house of corruption, they're all paid actors from what I see. Yeah, they've all got their new little hard hats and jackets on the building sites. They've all got matching T-shirts and matching placards if he's indoors. It's obvious that it's just for show. It's a PR stunt. But we need all the whites to do the work. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that all Muslims are like that, or any other race or culture are like that. I mean, some of the best service I've ever had in a restaurant has been in an Indian restaurant with Indians serving me. And quite frankly, this country used to run on its corner shops. Look who used to run them. The mum and dad shop went out many years ago. Okay, they're always open because they want to earn the money. But I've never found one that's been discourteous to me. You know, even the Chinese, I used to run them ragged. I used to take the piss all the time. Till they chased me out of the takeaway once with their fucking meat choppers and shit. But that was my own fault. I was drunk. I jumped up and sat on the counter watching them doing all the work behind. And I just said funny little things, didn't they? And that was it. So he looked like Odd Bod. What's his name? Odd Job, that was it, wasn't it? The big guy from James Bond. They fucking looked like him come running out of the kitchen with these fucking meat cleavers in their hand. That's it, I'm off. I'm out of there. Yeah, I've said that for a while now, Moo. This is what they're trying to push. They are pushing for an uprising. They are pushing for a civil war so they can put the army on the streets. Well, one, I don't think they've got enough left in the forces to do that unless they combine them all. And two, I'd trust the army more than the fucking police, to be honest. You can't trust the police nowadays. every single one of them. Oh, yeah, there are good coppers. No, there isn't. They can't have an interaction with a member of the public without harassing them and pushing them into doing something. Like I said earlier, with the preachers on the streets. It's all right for the Muslims, the Islamists, to do their thing, shout about, sit down in the road because it's time to pray. But you get a Christian preacher out there, oh no, you're going to get arrested if you start preaching the Bible. It's all arse about face. My nickname is Chunky. Is that Chungy or Chunky, Tony? Yeah, you'd be lucky to find one, Graham. And so many of them are turning out to be perverts now. I mean, I wouldn't say back in the day we absolutely trusted the police. We didn't. But they were a lot more civil. And I always maintain it was once they bought in, they had to make so many arrests a week. They had a quota to make. That was when the police started to turn. I mean, they say, well, the police force was started. The original police force, the Peelers, were some of the biggest fucking bullies out there. No, that's the police in general, Graham. All forces are like it. All forces are like it. But the Peelers, yeah, they were very violent. Very, very violent. But that's, there's a lot of history that's wrong. Yeah, they've earned it though, Moo. What they're getting nowadays, they've earned. I mean, you take, as I said the other day, the suffragettes, women's right movement, women's right to vote. They were actually domestic terrorists as well. Don't forget, they went round setting fire to buildings, government buildings, and stuff like that. That would be classed as a domestic terrorist. Arson. That's parts of history that don't always get put out there. Yeah, a lot of it nowadays is they don't know the law. They're not taught the law. They're just given a little device in their hand that says, oh, look, the law's up on there. Even experienced older ones, a lot of them still don't know the laws. And it's their egos. It's, as people keep saying, it's like they've never been told no in their life. Yes, arson can be up to 10 years. But, they just haven't got a clue. They can't talk to people. The younger ones that are joining up are just so fucking woke. I mean, that silly little blonde one with the fucking bins tried to arrest somebody for singing, walking along the street singing. There was one video I saw the other day, I don't know quite when it was produced, but a bloke being harassed and searched because he was sat on a train station platform waiting for his fucking train. The police thought he'd sat there for too long, so it was suspicious. So they went over and arrested him. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they are provoking a civil uprising. Literally. That's down to the corrupt justice system, Graham. Obviously, we know people of certain minorities don't always get the sentence they deserve. Same as grooming gangs, same as coppers. See a stitch. I mean, Mike Amesbury was a fucking perfect example.
Good night, Stitch.
You know,
A little Stitch.
10 days, was it? Not even that, of a 2-year sentence. 10-month sentence, sorry. And he was out. And he actually assaulted someone with a sustained assault on that person. Says it all. You know, same as when a copper assaults somebody and it's been proven in court, or rapes somebody and been proven in court. They will never, ever get the same sentence as a normal citizen, a normal member of the public. But you assault one of them, and you can guarantee you're going to get the book thrown at you, and you're going to get the highest sentence possible. It's just so wrong now. It's just so wrong. I've got to the stage now where I will protect my family and myself. That is it. You know. Yeah, they were, Moo. They were. You know, they carried handguns. They carried batons. Big batons. You know, if you were out of order and they caught you doing something wrong, they gave you a right fucking hammering, a right beating. Yeah, well, the thing is, Graham, it's I've always been waiting for them to come round, and I would tell them, it's do you understand the English language? All right, Steve. If they ask, what do you mean? It's, do you know the meaning of the word invitation? Do you know the meaning of the word voluntary? Because I would never accept an invite, and I don't do fuck all voluntary. And I would just turn around and tell them, right, go back, come back with your little warrant, I'll walk out the door. But until then, you talk to me through the fucking window, and when I've had enough, the window gets shut and the curtains get drawn. You know? And if there is an invite for a voluntary interview, if they kick the door in there and then with no warrant, that's a wrongful arrest. That's why they always say, can we come in and talk, or can we come out? Can you come out so we can have a chat? It's the same with bailiffs. Once you've invited them in, that's why they always say, can we come in? That's asking for an invite. Once you've invited them in once, that gives them the power to enter that property at any other time afterwards. Bailiffs are the same. Once you've invited them across the threshold, they have the backing to go in and enter your property with or without a warrant at any time. You know, I'd check that out, but I'm almost sure that's what it is. Yeah, that's why you should never answer questions, Graham. If they ever arrested me for a so-called voluntary interview, I'd just sit there and fall asleep. I wouldn't even acknowledge them. I'd give them what is required by law, which is my name and my details. After that, they can fuck off. There wouldn't be any of this, no comment, no comment. I just wouldn't say a fucking word. Yeah, exactly, Graham. If you've got a warrant, you don't need to execute it. Show me the warrant through the window. I'll come out to you. I am not letting you in the house. Right, I'm going to call that it, guys. Thank you, as usual, for turning in. as always, most respectful bunch I've come across. And that is always appreciated, believe me. And as you know, I don't remove any comments. We had to throw one or two out and block them in the early days of me streaming. But touch wood, I haven't had to do that for a couple of years now. And it's actually nice to be able to sit back and not worry about it. It's always emotional, Graham. Always emotional, mate. But no, it's just been another good night. Yeah, that's all right, Stuart. That's not a problem, mate. You dropped in, made a few comments. I knew you were there.
But I do most of the time. You sit here and lurk.
Yeah, you're visibly lurking. I know you're there.
Yeah, but I don't comment very often.
No. I know you do now and again, and you watch what's going on in there. Yeah, and the roller coaster is just going to get higher and higher, mate. So, but before we go, I will say, as always, good night from me.
Good night from me.
And stay safe, stay strong, and stay free. No matter what you're doing, guys. Respects as always. Take care.